Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Zelkenon, and welcome back to another episode of Smite Super Builds. As you can see, we have little baby Vamana here, with the wonderful touch of gray in his hair. So, moving on to items. So, this was a, another, build that was brought up. So I think somebody said it was outdated. Yeah, it is kind of outdated. Don't look at the very first Vamana. That was for what the original series was for, this exotic, stupid stuff builds. The other one was Stomp the Yard Vamana, which that was is a good build, but it's a little outdated as far as the player icons, not the player icons. I mean the item icons rather, and whatnot. But this is updated, so this should be long lasting for quite a while. So active wise for Vamana, this is a bruiser build. Just want to say that. Creep and Curse is always good to have on Vamana, just so right when you before you do your ulti, you can pop a Fleeting Curse around you, slowing everybody down. So once you pop that, then pop into your ulti, that should allow you to quickly, I guess you could say, attach to your enemies, like run up to your enemies, start beating on them with your umbrella, and then Haste and Vitalis will take it into effect. That way, it's 100% they cannot run away from you. Between Enfeebling Curse slowing them down by 40%, and then your Haste and Vitalis removing the attacking debuff movement speed from you, so they're not going to get away from you. So that's always good to have. Just keep in mind you cannot use it while you're in your ulti form, so pop it right before. So let's say charge in with your one, cancel it, or wait till it ends or whatever, then pop a Enfeebling Curse and then go into your ulti, and then from there start beating them down with your basic attacks. Or what you can do if you want to get really crazy, it's just instead of using your one, make it kind of obvious you're going in, you can straight up use Greater Blink, blink in, pop a Enfeebling Curse, and then turn to your ulti and start just stomping people down into the ground. It's a pretty cool technique. Haven't really seen it done too much, so you can use that. So those are two actives that are pretty useful to have. Okay, so items. We're gonna have Warrior Tabby, obvious reasons, power, attack, attack speed, and penetration. Haze of Vitalis. It's good to get this over and done with. It is rather cheap to buy. I think it's like around 1,800 or so. So it allows you to use your ulti really effectively early on. Because the main problem is if you don't have a Enfeebling Curse or something like that, or somebody to slow your opponents down, and without Haste Vitalis, it's going to be kind of hard to use your ulti to basic attack somebody down, because they're going to be faster than you. Since you're using attack, you're going to be slowed. So getting it early helps you get more effectiveness with your ulti during the entire game. Moving on to Void Shield. Keep in mind with Vamana's passive, sorry, not passive, his ulti rather, it transforms all his physical protections into physical power. So the more physical protection that you have, makes you more tanky, obviously. It also grants it the physical power. So don't worry, you may be looking at my stats right now is like only 139 power. That's going to jump really high up once we get our ulti going with the physical defense transformation. So that's why we're going to get Void Shield, and also the passive pretty much acts as penetration in general, since we don't have any other penetration item. Also giving you the plus 25 power, and of course the passive also helps your teammates out when trying to focus down one or multiple targets. Stone of Gaia, if you're fighting like a couple magical gods, this should be plenty. If they're really strong or there's multiple, more than 2 magical gods, I'd probably pick up another magical defense item and probably place that instead of Void Shield or Runeforged Hammer, one of those. It's really up to you, own personal preference. But the reason why I get this, it's cheap, plus 70 magical protection, but mainly for the passive and the HP 5. The HP 5, the flat rate, plus 25, that's always good to have. And the passive, all this works really well. I keep hitting the wrong button. That works really well with your passive. Sorry, I keep saying passive. I mean your ulti. I'm kind of tired. So when you turn to your ulti, you get health regeneration 5% per second. So if you have Stone of Gaia, it works really well, helping that. So in turn, acting as more defense, ideally, I guess you can say, it makes you more tanky on the same aspect of that. Next one, go with the Runeforged Hammer. It's pretty much like your ulti, physical protection, granting, converting it into physical power. So this stacks really well with him, and also granting you that plus 350 HP. Then finally, Mystical Mail. This is a really nice item for Vamana. It used to be a mystical mark, if you're more familiar with that. HP, a lot of protection, but more so is the aura effect. So while you're up in their face smacking them with an umbrella or stomping them, whatever you want to do to them, you're going to have that constant 40 magical damage per second on anybody around you, any enemies around you. So it's constant damage on top of your damage you're already doing. So overall, you're going to be doing a lot more damage. So let's go ahead and move on now. So we have 2,900 HP, quite a bit. 139 physical power. 241 physical defense and 118 magical defense. So like I said, if you need more magical defense, switch one of those items out. So as you can see, base attack soon, a little bit of damage. That yellow damage is indeed the mystical mail ticking. If you're wondering what that is, go ahead, we're going to use our 2 here. Quite a bit. So pretty good damage overall. I meant to grab the red buff though. So we're going to move on to Raw and go ahead and start ulting on his face. So 285 smackdowns on him. And as you can see, our power jumped up by a lot. 288 physical power on top of being extremely tanky. And of course, you get the best use out of Vamana if you're an assault and you're fighting all physical gods. That means you can straight up build all physical defense. You're going to be just demolishing them all day. You know, I would replace Stone Gaia with Hide of the Minion Lion. This one right here, plus 80 physical protection. Really good against fighting all physicals and assault. Or if you want to be a team player, of course, against sovereignty. So, lastly, I'll go ahead and buy a couple potions and beat down some gold fear with this, and I'll wrap it up from here. So with all that, 187. I missed my 2. Not too bad. Throw our 3 out. Nice. Alright, so this kind of shows you the health regeneration, how good it is. It's pretty well. So that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.